Air Jordan, sign me a deal. Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm going to be finishing my TreadPlate night harness with the Sabaton foot armor. I'll be making these out of 16 gauge steel, and I have pictures of all the patterns right here for you if you wish to make them yourself. And each piece of the middle will just decrease incrementally by the 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to put a crease in the middle of all of these pieces, just like that. Use a cross peen hammer and then put it on the step, those 2 steps of the anvil. Just, yeah. That's pretty good. There you go, you got a little bump there on both sides. My wooden dishing anvil doesn't take that much effort. That looks pretty good. Then I decided to just cut out some curves because, you know, you have extra material you can cut away. Why not make it a cool Gothic design? So that's what I'm going to do. All the rest of the pieces basically follow the exact same shape. I just fold paper in half, and they're about 2.5 inches wide. And then I just trace on the same pattern, and then I cut it out. They're just gonna shrink by the length incrementally down. Basically 1/8 to 1/4 each piece less than the last piece. So all of the holes I'm making here, they are all going to be an inch up from the bottom, and then I just did from the flat side over 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches sideways, 1 inch up, and that's where I put the initial hole, which is going to be shown on the outside. Now, as you know, Sabatons have articulation because one of the holes is slightly oblong, like this. Am I showing that right? Right, like that. This one's a circle, this one's more oblong. Hole is going to line up. I start drilling that hole. And before I go all the way through, I start the hole directly next to it. And we got 2 holes next to each other. You just keep running the drill bit forward so it smooths over that into an oval. I spaced out each plate 1 inch away from each other. I'm using 3/16 solid rivets and washers to hold this together. I had to get these on Amazon. They're called solid rivets. I want to prevent rust as much as possible, so before I rivet anything together, I'm going to sand everything with 100 grit sandpaper inside and out, then spray it with a black primer spray paint that also has rust resistance, and then a metallic silver. Not the mirror finish that I usually spray on my cardboard builds, but the type of metallic that will match the steel. To ensure that there is flexibility, make sure to not hammer these rivets too flat, or else they'll be too pinned to the side and then the steel will not flex like you want it to. So just a few hits with the hammer just to make sure it mushrooms over, and then that should be good. Now, just so my talus isn't going directly into the steel, I'm creating some leather tongues like you would find on a regular shoe, just for some extra comfortability. And then those slits in there will allow me to bend it up more, and then I'll just rivet it to the sides on each side. And now I should have more comfort here, so it's not just this going straight up into my ankle. And also the greaves have something to sit onto, and they won't also go into my ankle. So that's what that was for. There's that flexibility in motion. And then I plan, if I have the time, to add a piece of steel on the back with a buckle. The heel piece is very simple. I just have one piece of steel, and then I marked out the size of the hinge where it rotates. I'm gonna cut that out. Just like so. Rivet that in place, and then we're going to rivet that to the back of the Sabaton. And then a few buckles and straps later, this is what it should look like. Then the Sabatons are mostly complete. Like that. What else do we have to do? I have to add a strap on the bottom of the toe so my toe catches it and it doesn't just flop off my foot. Now that these are complete, I'm going to put on the rest of my night harness to see the progress. I think all of this is 100% done. It's just I need a weapon to go with it, and eventually I'll start doing some blacksmithing in the future, but it is pretty cold right now. It's December as I shoot this video right now, but whether it's cardboard or metal armor, it's always good to test fit it to see how everything feels and works out so you can actually adjust it for the future. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like these builds that I do, like and subscribe for more videos. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to check out my membership. I go into even greater detail on how I make my armor, and King Baldwin even gives you guys some early messages for new videos. Time for reflection is over.